Hello and welcome back to an Old Man Plays Minecraft Hardcore. And I am going to need to make a new staircase because this staircase is driving me potty. The one here behind me, it is driving me potty. So I need to make it one bigger all the way up because I haven't left enough headroom for a staircase to be able to run up and down. Let's get on with that first. I will dig this all the way back up to the surface, at which point I can then get a stone cutter and cut my stone into cut bits of stone. Yes, I hope that made sense. So here we are up on this level, and then we go to here. I was very fortunate in the last couple of episodes where I managed to get hold of some diamond tools and then some obsidian as well. So we have everything technically we need to carry on thriving in this world now. Except I don't have any really good armor. As you can see, I'm just in the old iron armor. I need to train up my armorer, my armorer, my amore. That one. Don't need the iron, as I uncovered a few episodes ago, because I do have a lovely iron farm, which is very successful. But ooh, that's Okay, be careful here then, don't get killed. You need to place block there. There's no one down there, there's no mobs. And there's diamonds there. I saw them diamonds, didn't I? All those diamonds. Oh, there's a spider over there. Why are there no mobs down there? Right, let's sneak anyway. And there. Okay, so das ist gut, ja. Let's put these. I don't really use these to a great extent, so let's block up the holes with stuff that I don't really like. Well, I do like deep slate, but there's an endless supply of it about to happen, so there we go. That can go there, and then I can dig that. Oh, in fact, if I dig another one, oh my god, I nearly died there. Oh my god, that was so lucky. I did not expect that. I think that's probably the most emotional you've ever heard me on any of these videos. I genuinely thought I was falling into lava then for a second. Right, so. Who would have thought that building a staircase could be so stressful? Honestly, I would have, even if I didn't fall in the lava, I would have died just from fall damage. Oh, my reaction there, that was brutal. Oh, and we are now here with drippy stones and everything. What actually is here? Let's go and explore a little bit. Anything worth worrying about? Or does it just generally lead back to that large chamber again? Some coal over there, that'd be useful. Let's get some dripstone points. They are harmless. They're harmless. Right, so. Okay, so where was I? I was here, trying not to die by building a staircase. And here we are again. Here we are again, happy as can be. I don't know what to do now. Please, just let me build up to surface. No, we're going to surface. No. Well, I might want copper later, so I'm not going to cover that up. Righty dokie. We are nearly there. We've nearly made it back to the surface without dying. And who would have known that not dying was going to be very difficult doing what I've just done. How are we doing for iron? I can now take that back up to the top. Running up the staircase, much like Neil Tennant does in the video for Go West. Oh, all my sugar cane's nearly completely regrown. Blimey. Well, we're 6 minutes in. We can put the dirt in there. We can put the iron in there. We can put all of the stone in here. How am I doing here then? So I have all these things now. I can eat lamb. Oh, buckets. Let's put some buckets in there then. Don't really want to waste a whole bucket of lava on just 4 copper. So I'll put the copper in there. Do I want to do that? No, I don't want to do that. I'll use all these nuggets to make lanterns later. Lanterns later, lanterns later, lanterns later. Right, so we now have obsidian. Which is it? Is it stone? Or is it glass? It's kind of glass, really. But I haven't finished my warehouse. Oh, excuse me. I haven't finished my warehouse, though, so... Right, let's refill that. What else is in there? I have glass and I've got copper in there. Ooh, that's my first copper that I've smelted copper that I've held. So I need... Ooh, what was I doing? I want a stone. So... Let's make a couple of blast furnaces then, shall we? 1, though, actually. Yes. Oh, do I want 2? I don't know. What's the difference between a copper canteen and an iron canteen? I don't know. I don't even know, like... So, stone. And you can just go in the bottom there. Well, glass can go in there. What I really need then is, how do you make a stone cutter? So you need 3 stone and an iron. So, 3 stone. And I'll bring those with me. So we're 9 minutes in. Can we finish the whole staircase before the end of the episode? So I'm trying to strictly limit these episodes to being no more than 15 to 20 minutes long. Okie dokie. So best way is to get back to the bottom then. I nearly fell down. Jesus, that would have been a nightmare. I am so glad I survived that. So we'll place down the stone cutter. Stone cutter, stone cutter, stone, stone, stone. Here comes that. What kind of stones do we want? Brick stairs, tile stairs, or polished deep slate stairs? Or do we just want cobbled? No, we don't want cobbled. I think I want deep slate brick stairs. Deep slate brick stairs. Deep slate brick stairs. So now we just need to build our way back up. And we have failed within 3 blocks. Oh, and we failed again. I mentioned Neil Tennant. Neil Tennant being who the actor David Tennant took his stage name from, because there was David Tennant's real name is David MacDonald, but there was already a David MacDonald in the British equivalent of the Screen Actors Guild, which was called Equity. So he had to choose a different name. And so he was looking through Smash Hits magazine, I believe, and decided he saw Neil Tennant from the Pet Shop Boys and thought, yeah, Tennant, that's a good name. So I will now be David Tennant. And he has since legally changed his name to David Tennant, because I don't know why. I can't answer that, to be honest, because I am not David Tennant. But he has legally changed his name to David Tennant. So even though we've seen videos of him with his family, the McDonalds, he is no longer a McDonald. He is David Tennant. My first introduction to David Tennant was actually just before he was in Doctor Who. In early 2005, just before David Tennant was announced as Doctor Who, he was an actor in a live BBC, I think it was BBC 3 or BBC 4, did a live reenactment of an episode of Quatermass, which was originally broadcast live in the 1960s, I believe, or late 50s. And he played a character in that. And that was when I first ever saw him do anything. Except I probably would have seen him in a few other things before that, because I know he was in a few shows I did watch. But yes, in fact, thinking about it, I didn't know who he was, but he played a mad artist in an episode of Randall and Hopkirk Deceased, the reboot in 2000, and he also played a gay barman. Sorry, not a gay, a transvestite barman. Barman? No, it wasn't transgender, it was just transvestite. In an episode of Rabsy Nesbitt. So I would have seen him before, but didn't know who he was. The first time I really knew who he was just by name, though, was by appearing in the reboot of Quatermass. And then within a few weeks, he was announced as being the new Doctor Who. Now, I'd also heard by then that he was the lead actor in a show called what was it called? Casanova, that was it. I don't even know what Casanova is, to be honest. I've never seen it, to be honest. But I'd heard that he'd been in it. So, but I had never seen it. But yeah, that was my introduction to David Tennant. And God, when Christopher Eccleston regenerated into David Tennant, I was like, who's this strange young man wearing Doctor Who's costume? I don't like this. And what's weird for me is that's the first time, as a grown-up, that I'd seen Doctor Who regenerate. Because obviously I was born in 1980, so I knew that different people played Doctor Who, and I'd grown up kind of accepting that there were lots of different people who were playing Doctor Who. And the first regeneration I remember seeing was Colin Baker into Sylvester McCoy, which is actually Sylvester McCoy into Sylvester McCoy, because Colin Baker didn't have to come back to do the regeneration because they fired him, and he refused to come back. But I remember that vividly happening, but I'd already accepted by then that, you know, Doctor Who just changes. I had vague memories of Peter Davison being Doctor Who back from my earlier memories. In fact, my earliest ever memory of any kind is of Doctor Who with the scary face in the wall, which I now know is the episode The Awakening from 1983. So that's my earliest memory of any kind, is actually from Doctor Who. But circling back to what I was talking about, I'd never seen as an adult or as a sophisticated, even teenager, I'd never seen the Doctor Who that I enjoyed watching suddenly dying in front of my own eyes and being replaced with some newbie who I didn't care about. And then suddenly, Christopher Eccleston, who brilliantly brought back Doctor Who in 2005, and I think it's a crying shame we never got to see any more time with Christopher Eccleston as Doctor Who, but I understand his reasons, and that's fair enough. He had morals and he had ethics he needed to stand up for, so I don't blame him for it at all. But I'd never at that point. I was following this. I was watching this 13 episodes in a row, and suddenly it's this guy who I'd kind of fallen in love with, not literally, but in terms of his portrayal of Doctor Who, which was completely new and unique. Because throughout the whole 90s, I was obsessed with Doctor Who. I watched Doctor Who I obsessively, every Sunday morning, a TV channel called UK Gold, it's now called just Gold, because they changed it to just a comedy channel. But back in the early 90s, UK Gold was showing old BBC TV shows, and one of the ones they did show was Doctor Who from the very start to the very finish, except for the missing episodes, because you can't magic them out of nowhere. So that was my tea time starting in November 1992, whilst we watched every day at 5:15, they would show an episode of Doctor Who starting from the very beginning, and that kind of indoctrinated me when I was 12 years old to like Doctor Who. And that carried on for years. And even when they took it off the tea time roster, I would then get up on Sunday mornings, because they relegated it to Sunday mornings, and I would get up and I was taping it. I bloody loved that show. It was fantastic. So I knew all about Doctor Who and old Doctor Who, and when Doctor Who came back for one movie in 1996, that was brilliant, but also a bit weird to see Doctor Who suddenly kissing people and being a bit romantic. And then when Doctor Who actually finally returned as a proper BBC TV series in 2005, because bearing in mind, my entire time as a Doctor Who fan up to then had been Doctor Who was already a cancelled show. I was in love with a show that wasn't being made anymore. Get some more Gemma Olds. So I was obsessed with a TV show that had already been cancelled and was never going to come back. And then suddenly one day they announced in 2003, it's going to come back. And I was like, no, it's not going to happen. And it actually really did come out. It really did happen. And that was just a bit surreal for me. And then I loved that show. I loved it when it came back in 2005. It was a very good show. And then suddenly this doctor who had brought it all back was like, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm like, oh. And then they introduced this new young guy. I'm like, why? But why, Daddy? I don't like this new guy. He says, oh, Barcelona. Right, why have you not all restocked, and why are there more of you than there should be? Let's buy some more of these, and let's see if I can get you upgraded enough to sell me something better. Ooh, lava buckets. I mean, that's free, isn't it? That's freer than anything else you do. So I can just make lava, and I can just make buckets. So now, send me some armor. Yes, yes, we have some armor. Proper diamond armor as well. So we now have a little bit of protection. Not a lot, but it'll do. Right, I think that's a good place to end then. Let us put the iron into the furnace and wave goodbye to our troubles. So, if you did not like me talking about Doctor Who for about 20 minutes, I don't blame you. Everyone else, I'll see you tomorrow. Probably. Maybe. Wow. Wow. I will explain wow, but not